Lake effect snow is going to ramp back up for us here in Michigan. We have a full forecast package that is about to be shared with you guys. We'll go over timing, impacts, and overall consensus between models and what we expect to happen over the next 36 hours. I'm Ryan, Michigan Storm Chasers here. Be sure to hit the like button, and if you have not done so already, consider subscribing to the channel. We do videos like this all the time about Michigan weather, so feel free to help support us on our work here at Michigan Storm Chasers. Let's go ahead and take the screen full for you guys so you can see a little bit better. Let's go ahead and dive in. This is a 48-hour short-term model, which is going to show you the forecasted radar over the next 48 hours. Starting with snow up in the UP, we'll begin here shortly, if it's not already slightly snowing up there. Current time for me is 12:33 a.m., so I'm getting an early start on this video Sunday morning here. But snow is going to overspread the state here as we get toward that Sunday sunrise time frame, 6, 7, 8 a.m. We're seeing much of the central and western part of the UP in snow, portions of lower Michigan also in some lighter snow perhaps by this time frame. This is 7 a.m. on this model. Let's go ahead and move into the afternoon hours. Go to noon. Here's noon. Much of the UP in snow, and much of the LP also getting in on some snow here from Mount Pleasant to the Tri-Cities up in the Thumb down through perhaps Lansing, Grand Rapids, Kazoo. A lot of us getting snow here. Moving into the evening hours, we're going to watch a very key feature here develop roughly around the 6, 7, 8 p.m. time frames, which may or may not develop here. But we're watching this in particular, some heavier snow squalls that may try to push onto the West Michigan lakeshore. These may bring brief gusty winds, 30 to 40 miles per hour, but they will also contain very heavy snowfall rates, which could reduce visibility quite greatly. As that moves across the state, it will weaken according to the model here, but lake effect snow behind this system will ramp up for our lake effect belts. We're going to move this into the early morning Monday hours. We're going to start seeing lake effect response up here in the UP and also some down here in western lower Michigan. As this continues into Monday morning, into the afternoon Monday, that lake effect snow continues and the model ends at Tuesday, or should I say Monday at 7 p.m. In Zulu time, though, that is Tuesday at 00Z, for those of you who can keep track of that at home. Now, we have a full forecast package out. Let's go ahead and dive in to what we expect with this. So first and foremost, current as of 12:34 a.m., we have some advisories up in the UP. So the counties are on your screen. I'll go ahead and read those off for you guys very quickly. Schoolcraft, Alger, Delta, Menominee, Dickinson, Marquette, Iron, Ontonagon, Houghton, and Keweenaw counties are under a winter weather advisory in effect from 1 a.m. tonight. So by the time you see this video, they'll already be in effect. So from now until roughly Tuesday, 1 a.m. So late Monday night into early Tuesday morning, they're in effect for. The advisories are for anywhere from 3 inches to as much as 12 inches in spots, I believe. So a pretty wide range expected. So if you're living in one of these counties, do feel free to check on those with your local NWS office, which would be NWS Marquette. They'll have more information for you guys in terms of that. Now, in terms of our snowfall forecast, here we go. Based on what we're seeing with the models through the Monday at midnight / Tuesday midnight, so Monday night into Tuesday, we're going with a 8 to 14 zone up in Ironwood, Ontonagon, and Houghton. Around that, a 5 to 9 zone. And then further inland, we're going 3 to 6 from Marquette down here toward Crystal Falls area. And then also Manistee, Newberry, Sault Ste. Marie areas in the 3 to 6 zone. 2 to 4 below that near Escanaba, Menominee areas, Cedarville, Mackinac, Sheboygan, all the way down into the lower Michigan, Cadillac, Ludington, Traverse City areas. In Aqua, we're going 1 to 3 from Kalamazoo to Lansing to the Tri-City area up through Alpena. And then in white, we're going Trace, which is what the T stands for, up to about 1.5 inches of snow. Would not be shocked to see isolated higher amounts if this snow squall can develop, as the latest model guidance suggests it will. So overall, I want to mention this as well before I move on. Freezing drizzle could possibly mix in that purple zone. If you can't really see it, it's from about Ludington over to the Tri-Cities and pointing southward. Would not be shocked to see isolated freezing drizzle as we get through the afternoon, evening hours tomorrow. Now, in terms of impacts, we have 6 of these maps that we make. We call them impact arrows. These are a fairly new thing for us. But basically what it goes over is impacts expected to be highest or lowest with time frames involved here. So if you look at the top of the graph there, we're going to see the valid zone, West Central Michigan. So places like Whitehall, Harrison, Tri-City, Alma, Manistee areas. We're expecting impacts to start increasing as we get toward that late morning time frame in terms of our traffic forecast. But the worst is going to be centered around that 6 and onward p.m. time frame tomorrow. As we move into Southeast Michigan here, same thing applies. The worst impacts will be expected late tomorrow evening, right around that 6 p.m. onward time frame. Again, top arrow is for traffic, bottom arrow is for precipitates. If you guys want to pause this or scroll back to kind of watch what you or kind of get a better idea, I may go through these last ones pretty fast here, but overall here is northern lower, again, centered around the late evening time frame for you guys in terms of your traffic forecast. Eastern UP, we're going red all the way just because there's more snow up there. Western UP gets the worst of it. We actually have travel not advised past that Monday at midnight time frame. And then last but not least, Southwest Michigan, we kind of skipped over you guys there. You guys are going to have some things to worry about. That snow squall does develop after that 4 to 6 p.m. time frame. So with that in mind, these are posted on our Facebook page. Feel free to scroll back if you just missed those. You can do that here on YouTube. Just move the slider back to your zone there and get a better idea if you want to pause it and take a better look. With that being said, that is the full forecast package. Snow begins roughly now. It'll continue through at least Tuesday morning. Accumulations, again, anywhere from 8 to 14 in the UP, all the way down to 1 or perhaps a trace to 1.5 inches of snow down southeast lower Michigan. Let's focus a bit on the long term here, looking at another Arctic blast of cold air. This is the European model. It's a longer term model we're going to look at here tonight. This is our temperature map. Let's go ahead and click to expand here. Let's go ahead and run this through the time frame here. So right now, Michigan is falling roughly around normal. These red colors here down in Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, they consider normal, mid to high 20s here across the state. But as we move into the time period, especially toward that 20th of January timeframe, keep an eye on all this cold air locked up in Canada currently. Watch how that tries to penetrate south initially, but it actually gets through a lot better here toward that 20th of January timeframe. Let's go ahead and run this through. This is current. We're going to see our first blast of Arctic air trying to come south here around that Monday late timeframe. Here's late Monday night and early Tuesday morning. We're seeing Lake Michigan protect us here from those sub-zero temperatures that will be impacting parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Dakotas as well. As we move into the later part of the mid to late part of the week here, we're going to see a resurgence of that cold air. So a pretty cold week upcoming. Then it kind of warms back up there for the Friday time frame here. We're seeing a little bit of a milder pattern. But then after that milder pattern from Friday to Saturday, watch all that cold air in Canada come further south. Here it comes. And by the time we get into the early part of next week, so like the 20th or 21st of January, Michigan firmly gets into the sub-zero temperatures according to this model that may stick around for quite a while. So the coldest air of the season is shown to be centered around that 20th of January and afterward time frame. The next 15 days on the meteogram chart here, based out of Detroit, we're seeing anywhere from the low to mid 20s to, mid to high 20s until that Monday time frame. We're going to dip down for 3 days here in the teens and low 20s there. We're going to have a heat wave for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, which is 17th and 18th. And then we go back down into the Arctic air, which is going to hang around for quite a while as well. We're seeing low temperatures, perhaps even below zero, being forecasted here. Whether that comes true or not, we'll have to keep an eye on it. But the overall takeaway is cold air is on its way here. In terms of snow, we are watching some systems centered around and just after the 18th to 20th time frame. I'm really keying in toward the late January, early February time frame. I do have some higher hopes for that time frame versus the earlier time frames. So we'll keep an eye on that. If anything has to update with you guys, I will do that ASAP. With that being said, feel free to hit the like button before you head out. Before we do, I want to say a shout out to our sponsor of today's video. We're going to go with StormGuard Roofing and Construction, based out of Macomb, Oakland, and northern Metro Detroit areas. Roofing construction needs, feel free to give them a call, 248-985-3239. And thank you to StormGuard for sponsoring today's YouTube video. We could not operate MSC without the help of our wonderful sponsors here. With that being said, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another update video here at Michigan Storm Chasers YouTube channel.